Please be seated. Hello, and welcome to Eastern Illinois University's annual winter commencement ceremony. I'm so very glad you're able to join us online today. My name is Dr. David Glassman, and I am proud to serve as president of EIU. All of us in the Eastern community are excited to celebrate our students' accomplishment and to welcome them to a growing class of EIU alumni in Illinois, across the nation, and throughout the globe. As you know, 2020 introduced some incredibly unique challenges for everyone. As graduating students of EIU, each of you has already demonstrated a strong and determined quality of character. I thank you for letting those attributes guide your actions this year to keeping EIU as safe and healthy as possible. As far as traditions go, commencement ceremonies are almost as old as universities themselves. Today's virtual commencement is our way of recognizing your hard work, your commitment, and all you have achieved as students of Eastern Illinois University. Under normal circumstances, we would all be gathering in Lance Arena with faculty, students, staff, and our friends and families to celebrate the completion of your academic careers. I would be asking all of our graduating students to stand and be formally acknowledged, which would be met with thunderous applause by everyone in attendance. I'd also have a chance to recognize and thank our incredible faculty and staff, which I'll certainly not miss an opportunity to do here. Thank you all for your tireless dedication to the education and development of our students. Your talents and efforts are responsible for the tremendous accomplishments that take place on our beloved campus each and every day. It may surprise you that worldwide, only about 1% of the population has the opportunity to attend and graduate from college. All of our students have enjoyed that opportunity. And being part of that 1% makes you very fortunate. However, it also affords you a great opportunity and even greater responsibility to create a world where your own children and their children will be provided with similar opportunities to continue cultivating a shared world that all of us are equally proud to live in. A world that understands the power and importance of civility, respect, equity, fairness, and inclusion for all. Thank you for tuning in to today's virtual commencement. And at this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Ann Flaherty, Vice President of Student Affairs, who will lead us in a moment of reflection.
Thank you, President Glassman. As we begin, let's share a moment of reflection. We celebrate the eligible graduates whose participation in the life of Eastern contributed so much to the vibrancy of our university. May the shared memories of the past be matched by the shared vision of a bright future for our university. May the spirit of EIU forever be with our newest alumni as they begin a new chapter in their lives. May they continue to reflect the best of Eastern as they contribute to their communities. May each be inspired to live a life founded upon solid principles of justice and peace, a life of high moral purpose, and may each of our graduates experience the joy and contentment of a life lived for others. May those of us who remain behind to teach the next generation of students be renewed in our dedication to preparing them for the lives of public service and accomplishment. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Flaherty. At this time, I would like to introduce the members of the platform party joining me today. Please stand as I call your name. Dr. Jay Gatrill, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Dr. Ann Flaherty, Vice President for Student Affairs. Dr. Ryan Hendrickson, Dean of the Graduate School. Dr. Barbara Bonnekessen, Dean, College of Liberal Arts and Sciences. Dr. Austin Cheney, Dean of the Lumpkin College of Business and Technology. Dr. Aslam Irson, Dean of the College of Health and Human Services. Dr. Loretta Henderson, Dean of the College of Education. Ms. Jacqueline Quinn, Graduate School Student Speaker. And Mr. Scott Eisenhower, School of Extended Learning Student Speaker. Thank you all for being present. Normally, our platform party would be larger to include additional members of our administration, Board of Trustees, and our commencement marshal, who leads the commencement's processional and carries the university's ceremonial mace. They will not be attending today in order that we may adhere to COVID-19 mitigation guidelines. Nevertheless, their service to the university is immense, and I am pleased to recognize their names. Dr. Ken Wettstein, Vice President for University Advancement. Mr. Sean Reeder, Vice President for Business Affairs. Dr. Richard England, Dean of the Sandra and Jack Pine Honors College. Dr. Robin Murray, Graduate School Student Speaker Mentor. Ms. Kimberly Redfern, School of Extended Learning Student Speaker Mentor. And lastly, our commencement marshal for today's celebration, Dr. Angela Jacobs, professor in the School of Communication and Journalism, representing the Graduate School. Thank you all for your service. Commencement is a celebration of academic achievement and excellence. The outstanding faculty of Eastern Illinois University are the academic heart and soul of this institution. They are the drivers of excellence, the drivers of success of our graduates. I will now ask our Chief Academic Officer, Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs, Dr. Jay Gatrell, to formally recognize our faculty. Dr. Gatrell.
As President Glassman just mentioned, there is one other group of people who deserve our recognition and sincerest appreciation at this ceremony, particularly given the many challenges facing all of us during the COVID era. I am, of course, referring to our outstanding faculty. Over the course of these graduates' EIU experience, the faculty have provided the means, the support, and the mentoring necessary to make it to this day, and have endeavored to equip students with the skills and knowledge necessary to thrive beyond our campus and throughout their lives. And of course, nowadays, we all realize that one of those skills is now Zoom. While I recognize that we are virtual today, I respectfully express my and our collective gratitude for their effort, care, and the many contributions they make every day to EIU, our students, alumni, and the community. At this time, I am honored to introduce our commencement student speakers. To earn the opportunity to become a commencement speaker, eligible students must meet certain academic requirements and submit a written essay. Speakers are selected following a written and oral assessment conducted by a faculty committee. Students must also identify a faculty mentor to assist with the project. Dr. Robin Murray, Professor of English, and Ms. Kimberly Redfern, Academic Advisor for the School of Extended Learning, serve as this year's faculty mentors. It is my pleasure to introduce the student commencement speaker, Ms. Jacqueline Quinn, an English major representing the Graduate School. Dr. Murray said, as an excellent speaker, writer, and scholar, Ms. Quinn embodies all of the best qualities of an EIU graduate, and as an amazing teacher, she shares these strengths with her students, many of whom may become future Panthers.
Thank you, Dr. Gatrell and Dr. Murray. Good evening, students, staff, fellow classmates, graduates, and family tuning into our virtual commencement ceremony. What a year. While I can say that I am happy that 2020 is coming to a close, I can't say that I'm happy to be leaving Eastern Illinois University for yet a second time in my life. When I started my undergraduate college search in 2009, I was convinced I would attend Illinois State University. I had everything ready to go, my ISU lanyard, my ISU sweatshirt, my really cool Redbird bumper sticker. I had it all. But thankfully, my grandpa convinced me that there were other schools to consider, Eastern being one of them. Major eye roll from a 17-year-old me. Then, on a sunny Veterans Day visit to EIU with my then boyfriend, who's now my husband, and my grandfather, who ironically drove me here today, I realized that I may have been hasty in making that decision. At 18, my decision to attend Eastern Illinois University to pursue my dream of being a high school English teacher was finalized by that visit to campus. Then 10 years later, in 2019, I found myself at a crossroads. I needed to attend graduate school, and I needed to be online. I was pushed by an administrator to pursue a graduate degree in English. Due to my hectic life of teaching, coaching, and unbeknownst to me growing a human, it needed to be online. Back in 2009, I decided to go to EIU because of its quaint dorm rooms, small class sizes, and beautiful campus. But in 2019, I decided to return to EIU because of the impactful professors and the invaluable education and experience I felt I would receive yet again from the university. Being an EIU student has taught me many valuable lessons, both the first time and the second time. And I feel forever indebted to this wonderful university. Eastern Illinois University taught me to be valued. As a high school teacher, I know that college isn't the right choice for everyone. I never try to push my students to go to college if they don't want to, but I will push them to be proud of who they are. In my time at the graduate level, I spent a lot of time learning, thinking, reading, and writing about all sorts of students and learners. Earning my own degree taught me I should be proud of my accomplishments, but to be careful of hubris. A graduate professor actually said that to me at the end of class in my term paper. He said, "Be careful of your hubris." And I have been ever since. And it's like one of those things that you don't recognize until someone points it out to you, and then you can't stop seeing it. Instead, I have learned to value my own accomplishments and talents. Pushing my own students to value themselves and their accomplishments is a majority of my job. Teaching literary devices is only a filler for the real stuff, the stuff that really matters, like how to point out flaws without bringing others down, but making others stop and think using kind and effective rhetoric. Teaching young adults to value themselves, no matter what they look like or what they believe in, is hard. And it's a challenge every day. Teaching kids to know their value and worth is a whole lot easier when you value yourself. Eastern Illinois University provided me with the knowledge and power of literature. I have always loved to read. And the best perk about my niche is that we read. We read a lot. One of the biggest hurdles in the midst of a year like 2020 is social media. Reading all the headlines, regardless of political affiliation, regardless of author, regardless of subject, is how I make my decisions of who I vote for. This is only my third election I voted in, but I have never read more atrocious articles than I have this last year. But the biggest takeaway I've received from this graduate program is that there is power in literature. There is real power behind rhetoric. And I take that into my own classroom as well. Social media, deceiving pictures, poorly cut video clips, and clickbait headlines are the things that hate is truly made out of. Political or not, because teenagers can be pretty brutal to one another. In a time where there is so much hate, I choose to read. I choose to educate myself in order to be a better citizen, a better teacher, a better parent, and a better American. My knowledge of literature has helped guide me through the toughest of times and the slowest of quarantines. It's forced me to think rationally and irrationally, and it's convinced me, more than ever, that we should have more choice of literature in our classrooms. It's introduced me to authors and characters who I will cherish for a lifetime. And, most importantly, it's given me knowledge to fuel my desires and my beliefs. Eastern Illinois University taught me to be kind. Mark Twain once said that kindness is the language that the deaf can hear and the blind can see. And I have reminded myself of this many times, especially over the last few months. Just like in life, college always comes with its challenges. One of my personal challenges with earning my degree online was the lack of social interaction. I knew I would miss being in the classroom. But I had confidence in the professors here that they would facilitate my online education to be just as meaningful. Let me preface by saying I did choose to complete my degree totally online. Online learning was the best option for me and for my family. And while I chose this degree for myself, COVID-19 decided that online learning was best for everyone. In my time teaching remotely, I modeled the behaviors and attitudes that I saw from online learning at this university. The professors and peers I encountered were nothing but understanding. In the midst of a pandemic, there was kindness. Some teachers created dictatorship, but I created democracy. Much like in the classrooms here, both online and in Old Main. There has to be understanding and empathy in the classroom in order for there to be learning. This university has taught me all of those things. There have been so many times where my job is frustrating and I want to quit. But when I walk into that classroom in January, I've been on maternity leave, so when I go back in January, I know that whether there are kids in those seats or not, there will be kindness and understanding, just like I was given here. Eastern Illinois University provided me with the best professors. I can't say enough about these great people. I developed admiration for every professor I encountered. This is the biggest reason I came back to EIU. Attending Eastern again, online, with my favorite professors, sign me up. In my undergrad, I found a professor who I learned from, so I took every single class he taught. And I learned so much from him, most of which I still carry with me today. And I thought, I hope someday someone feels that way about me. I don't know if I've had that impact yet or if I ever will, but if it's not me, I hope everyone has that eagerness to learn. I have already come to terms with the fact that I'll be a lifelong learner and a lifelong student because I simply love learning. I encountered this again at the graduate level, to no surprise, and I found myself wanting to learn more and more. Learning becomes addictive in the right setting. I want to be the best teacher I can be, and that's why I came back here. With most of my professors being parents, I found solace in knowing that there were so many successful women who have careers and children. I received wonderful advice from not only teaching but parenting from many professors. Being a role model for my son is one of my biggest priorities right now, and I hope that he grows up surrounded by powerful women and supportive men, just like I have. Eastern Illinois University taught me how to be a leader. When I saw this opportunity to write this essay and be the commencement speaker, I dismissed it at first. But when it came around again, I knew I needed to do it. I am busy, and I am so tired of this year, but I wanted to showcase how great this university really is, and how wonderful the staff and students are, and how much I've grown as an educator during my time here over the last 15 months. Eastern Illinois University first provided me with the skills to obtain a job. But the second time, this time, with 6 years of teaching under my belt, EIU gave me the knowledge to do my job at the exemplary level. And most importantly, I want to show my students and my son that there are unlimited possibilities for them. If there is ever an opportunity for one of my students to lift themselves up and raise their voice, I want them to seize it. And I need to model that behavior and attitude. There is nothing more terrifying than standing up here in front of people and hoping you make them laugh, hoping you connect with them, and hoping that there is some part of your speech that they listen to and take away from. But being a leader doesn't always mean being the one speaking. It means being the one to take action. It means making something of yourself, even if you don't think that you can. I want my students to know that I want them to succeed in every single thing that they do. And I learned that from being a student and feeling that here. I thank God every day for my high school English teacher who told me to apply here, for my grandpa who made me visit here when I told him I didn't want to. I was going to ISU. There have been so many supportive people in my life to get me to where I'm at today. To my mentor, Dr. Murray, who I met as a tiny little undergrad, you have pushed, directed, and inspired me to be the teacher and student I am today. To President Glassman and the committee for picking me to be the speaker today, I am humbly honored. I have the best family, the best mom, the best friends, most of whom I made here, the most beautiful baby boy, the most supportive husband in the world, and the most amazing job with the most incredible coworkers and administration I could ask for. Maybe I can't thank Eastern Illinois University for everything on that list, but I can always thank them for molding me into the teacher, student, leader, and person I am today. I am lucky to have had such a strong community backing me in my pursuit of education. Eastern Illinois University will always be a second home to me. I will forever and always bleed blue. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Quinn, for your thoughtful and inspirational remarks. You have a wonderful future ahead of you. It is my pleasure to introduce the next student commencement speaker, Mr. Scott Eisenhower, a general studies major representing the School of Extended Learning. Ms. Kimberly Redfern, his mentor, said about him, "Earning a college education has always been important, but for some, the chance to earn that degree comes a bit later in life." After serving as mayor of Danville for 4 consecutive terms, Mr. Eisenhower was embarking on a new career opportunity as the Rantoul Village Administrator. At the same time, he made a decision to complete his bachelor's degree and selected Eastern Illinois University as his destination. With a goal in mind and a time frame to accomplish it, nothing was going to stand in his way. Mr. Eisenhower is here today to share reflections on his journey with you.
To the Honorable President Glassman, to our esteemed leaders on stage and in front, to the distinguished Board of Trustees, to our dedicated faculty, to my fellow graduates, and to all family and friends. Please do not adjust your monitors. I really am this old. In fact, today marks the culmination of 50 years of schooling, from my elementary and high school experience to a community college, and then a failed attempt at life as a traditional college student. It took me almost 35 years to get back into a college class in pursuit of my impossible dream. But fortunately, I found EIU, a school where life experience counted towards credit, and an online option was available to schedule around work, family, and life. And while it has certainly been a long journey, I often reflect on my first days of school 5 decades ago and how the lessons I learned then are still very relevant today. Robert Fulghum created a list of lifelong lessons you learn in kindergarten, and never are 3 of those teachings more important than right now. I appreciate the emphasis EIU has placed on each during a year where normal is abnormal and there seems to be no rest in national unrest. Lesson 1, play fair. There is no question we have all been engaged in discussions of equality and fairness. But it is Eastern who taught me that while dialogue has benefit, it is the action of commitment towards equality that is most important. Whether it was the way our administration, faculty, and students unified against racial and social injustice, especially as it got closer to home, or the campus gathering around the We Are EIU flagpole, actions do speak louder than words. My coursework emphasized that theories only change the world when put into practice. Lesson 2, when you go out into the world, watch out for traffic, hold hands, and stick together. Even as an online student, we are all painfully aware of the impact the pandemic has had on our lives and on our educational pursuit. This is unlike anything we have previously experienced. Yet those support systems, our advisors and our instructors, could easily have crossed the street alone, focusing on their own survival, but they didn't. Instead, they held out their hands to make sure we were managing the crisis and our education appropriately. Here is a university with over 8,000 students, some far away from campus, reaching out to make sure we could get to the other side. Those are not lessons that are learned in a classroom, but rather taught by classmates, instructors, and staff sticking together, responding to a crisis. Lesson 3, it doesn't matter what you say you believe, it only matters what you do. Here at EIU, I learned that you can't stand for something sitting behind a desk. As someone who has said no to a college education for 35 years, these last 2 years have taught me to say yes. Yes to learning more, yes to exploring more, yes to understanding more, yes to gaining new perspectives, and yes, even coming to the realization that I really don't know all I thought I knew. I learned through my experience as a non-traditional student that lack of money or time are no longer excuses to limit our educational pursuits and deprive us of the awareness which only comes through a diverse set of thoughts and experiences. In a year when a virus shut down a world, where the unheard demanded to be heard, where rights were wronged and wrongs were righted, and where most of us at some point just wanted it all to stop, my instructors and fellow classmates at EIU taught me one final important kindergarten lesson: to learn some and think some, to draw and paint, to sing and dance, and to play and work some every day. As we leave the classrooms of EIU for the classrooms of life, may we never forget what we learned from that first year of school to the last. Play fair, stick together, and live a balanced life. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Eisenhower, for your encouraging words. You will continue to do great things. President Glassman, I now have the honor to present the candidates for graduate and undergraduate degrees for the class of 2020. They have been enrolled in courses which complete their degree requirements, and I hereby recommend that their degrees be conferred and the appropriate diplomas awarded.
By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, and in accordance with the recommendation of the faculty of Eastern Illinois University, I hereby confer upon you the appropriate degree with all the rights and privileges pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Dean Ryan Hendrickson will recognize the candidates from the graduate school.
President Glassman, it is my honor to present to you the names of the master's degree candidates from the Lumpkin College of Business and Technology.
Congratulations, graduates. Dean Austin Cheney will recognize the candidates for undergraduate degrees from the Lumpkin College of Business and Technology.
President Glassman, it's my honor and pleasure to present the names of candidates for undergraduate degrees from the Lumpkin College of Business and Technology.
Congratulations to our undergraduates. One of the great things about being the president of Eastern Illinois University is the executive privilege that comes with it. So allow me at this time to impart a short bit of wisdom to our graduating class. From this day forward, your lives will be filled with endless possibilities, but not simply because you earned your degrees. Earning your degree is a small part of a larger commitment you've made to yourselves and to the world we share. Whether you're aware of it or not, that commitment to learn, to grow, and to adapt to change existed in each of you long before today. When you started your academic journey at Eastern Illinois University, you had well-defined dreams and perhaps a clear vision of how you thought your time would be spent. Along the way, those visions likely evolved, and certainly they have in the last 2 semesters due to the unprecedented global pandemic our world hasn't seen in more than 100 years. But by adapting to new situations and confronting new challenges, your abilities, your patience, and your perseverance were tested. Still, despite all the challenges placed before you, you managed to reinvent yourselves in the face of change, leading each of you to become the innovative, insightful, and impressive leaders you are today. I can think of no better analogy that will prepare you for your lives after college. As surely as we are celebrating your accomplishments today, tomorrow will bring new challenges. Be confident in your pursuits. Who you are and who you continue to become will be determined by how you react to those challenges. And I can share with confidence today, you are ready. You are ready to turn every challenge into an opportunity. You are ready to convert those opportunities into achievements. And you are ready to transform those achievements into your own personal legacies of success. Now, at this point of the commencement ceremony, I would typically lead our graduates in completing the ceremonial moment that completes the cycle of graduation. The moving of their tassels from the right side of their graduation caps to the left side, signifying the status of a graduate. Instead, for our remote ceremony, I'll ask each of you to give yourselves a celebratory pat on the back and welcome you as the newest alumni of Eastern Illinois University. Congratulations. Remember, you are and will always be EIU. From its beautiful, serene campus to its rewarding academic opportunities, Eastern Illinois University will forever hold a special place in your heart and in your mind. EIU is family, and you are a significant member of that family. We invite you to return often. We want you to keep us posted on your life's journey. And remember, we will always be here for you. Thank you all for joining us today, and congratulations once again to our 2020 graduates. Thank you.
Thank you.